Now, we are all here because we like food. We like to know about food. We want the best food that we can possibly get. And there are some great food bloggers who write about food. Can you remember back a couple of years ago, Neve Shields, who writes as Eat Like a Girl, was here. And she was up talking about the appalling decline in home economics in schools. So what does a real food blogger do? They find something that they may like. It may be a product, it may be a restaurant, it may be a really good chef. And they sample it and then they write about it because they want to share the interest. They want to make sure that if you come across a really good local cheese somewhere, you let people know where it is. If you come across a good chef, you tell them what it's all about. But on the other hand, there are an appalling number of food blaggers out there. And the blaggers, as far as I'm concerned, are an absolute curse to people who write seriously about food, people who have an interest in food, and people like yourselves, because they're just filling you full of utter rubbish. Give you an example. This week, I read an excited tweet from somebody that said, "Walkers, thank you so much for the huge delivery of crisps." I mean, crisps for a start. Walker's not even a particularly good brand of crisps, to be honest, and yet they are going to waste your time and my time telling you 300 things to do with crisps. You know, you can eat them or you can bin them. It's as simple as that. The kind of people who come up with, I am very grateful to Kraft for the 5,000 tons of Angel Delight that was delivered, and then promptly write about bloody Angel Delight forever, again forgetting that the best use of Angel Delight is actually binning it. Now, these are the people who bring restaurants, etc., into really bad states, because they're the kind of people who will ring up a restaurant in advance and say, "I'm coming to eat with you tomorrow night. By the way, I blog about it." And if the chef hasn't actually crawled across broken glass with an amuse-bouche in his hand, they're going to write a bloody awful review, slag the place off for no reason whatsoever. They're in it purely for themselves, what they can get out of it. They will happily write about JML's latest kitchen gadget. It may be crap, it may be plastic, it may be utter rubbish, but they will happily write about it for an intense amount of time. Now, it is important, very important, that we do talk about food. The web is absolutely brilliant for doing so because you can connect with so many people so quickly. And if you've got a valid experience, share it. But when I go to eat somewhere, I go and eat. If I've enjoyed it, I might well say, by the way, I do write about food and I'd really like to sort of feature you and spend a bit of time talking to the chef, the manager, whatever, and then go back and write something that's actually careful and considered. Now, I do have a bit of a background in food, so I am vaguely qualified to scribble about it. I mean, I actually trained at Ballymaloe Cookery School, so I know the basics of cooking. I've been writing for a fair while, and I know a lot of producers around the place, mainly because you meet them, and people will say to you, "Look, there's another really good person, have you tried their whatever?" And if you try it and it's good, then you scribble it down. But certainly, the one thing that I never do is just blog because somebody has sent me a product or offered me a product. And the other side of the appalling food blaggers is the bloody PR companies who, once they see you actually write about food, start inundating you with the latest crap that's come through their door. Would you like to sort of do our new improved something or other? It is absolutely full of E-numbers, and it's brilliant. I actually had somebody who did send me a jar of Dolmio, you know, now with only natural ingredients. What the bloody hell was in it before they put natural ingredients in it? Strangely enough, it didn't get eaten, and it certainly didn't get reviewed. Now, I think that the bona fide food bloggers will do so because they love food. They will not do so for profit or gain in any way, shape or form. Now, I'm fairly certain, because it's what Rude Health do, that at the end of my little rant, they tend to give you a little bag with some of their fine breakfast products in it. Now, I will certainly enjoy those fine breakfast products, but I'm awfully sorry, Rude Health, there is no way that I'm writing about them because I have to protect my professional integrity. You know. And if I can just sort of pick up on one thing that was mentioned earlier by Martin, when he was talking about terroir. Nobody does know what it is, but certainly I'm going to be researching terroir very closely in future. Maybe not about wheat, probably not about wine, but I think the third subject he mentioned deserves some close investigation. Thanks very much indeed. Goodbye.